no tournament last year, so they won the tournament in 2019, taking on number 2 Roncalli, the 2018 state champions. And Heather, this match tonight is number 4 in this regular season between these two programs, and the last one before the state tournament. And for Roncalli, who comes into this match tonight, 24-4 in the season, but 0-3 against Fishers. This is the last chance to take a shot at the defending champs before the state tournament.
It is the last chance, and it's probably going to start with their block. Fishers seems to be, at least based on the warm-up, really well balanced in all their hitters, so it's going to start in the middle for Roncalli to see how well they can face up.
Well, Roncalli and Fishers hooking up for the 4th time, as we mentioned. Fishers comes in 28-0, ranked number 1. These two teams have been 1-2 for the entire season. And they met twice last week. They met opening weekend in the Cathedral tournament. Fishers winning that game, that match, 2-1. They played in the final of the Metro tournament, which is kind of the tournament for teams here in Central Indiana. That was last Thursday night at Cathedral, and Fishers won that 2-1. And then the Noblesville tournament last Saturday, they met in the final, and that was a 2-set sweep for Fishers. So Roncalli's won 2 sets in 8 tries against Fishers this year. And I don't know, Heather, necessarily that Roncalli needs to win tonight, but certainly you would think to give them some confidence heading into the state tournament, they're going to be the 1 and 2 seeds. You need a good showing tonight on your home floor.
You definitely need a good showing tonight, and you have to come in with a little bit more confidence. It's really hard to beat a team. Right now, this would be 4 times in one season, let alone in the state tournament 5 times in one season. So is tonight the night that Roncalli can pull one out?
Well, we shall see. Fishers has lost. This is amazing. Fishers has lost just 4 sets all year. 4. And 64, won 64 sets, lost 4. 2 of those come from Roncalli, and 2 in a 5-set match that they had with Cathedral a couple weeks back. It's a veteran team, both of these teams, veteran senior-heavy teams, and a great crowd here tonight. Somewhat socially distanced, but certainly masked up. Good student crowd across the way, and we're happy to have you with us. We've got a busy week for you here on the network. Weather permitting, we'll have a huge softball game tomorrow night. We're going to stay here for the lineups, and then we're going to take a break. So we'll stay here through the lineups, and then we'll take our break during the anthem and the prayer. But we've got a big softball game for you tomorrow night. Roncalli hosting Franklin Central at 5:30, and then we'll have an audio-only baseball game for you on Saturday morning as the Royals take on Cecina Memorial at 11 o'clock. Mentioned Fishers, the defending state champions. They beat Roncalli in the final back in 2019. Keegan Hurst, a starter for Fishers. Frankie Capo, son of the head coach, Carlos Capo. Henry DeFore, another starter. Aaron Hernandez, number 9. See him being introduced right now. He's committed to Ball State next year. Brian Cochran, a junior outside hitter. He's another starter. Zach Lewis, the only underclassman starter, number 21 being introduced. And Eli Buckler, the other starter. He is a senior. Again, Carlos Capo, the head coach. He's been a state finalist, has Fishers, 3 straight years. Roncalli's been a state finalist each of the last 7 years. Ryan Shanahan, one of the starters, a senior. Thomas Tenbarge, another senior, 6'3", middle hitter. John Kesterton, an outside hitter, also a senior. Will Bikes, the senior setter. Luke Island, a senior defensive specialist. Keep an eye on number 27, Brendan Luthane. He's got unbelievable vertical ability. One of the top vertical leapers in the state of Indiana at the front. And then Sean Haberthy, number 33, who's committed to play Division II at King University next year in Bristol, Tennessee. We're going to take our first and only break here in the pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the start of this match between Roncalli and Fishers coming up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Trying to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. I think I'm gonna make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary, ER, or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Welcome back to Roncalli High School. Alongside 2016 Roncalli volleyball captain Heather Lazan, Rob Brown with you. I believe you're also a manager for the boys team.
I was a manager. I'm also impressed you do that. Look at you counting back.
I got a little something. I got a little something.
Yes.
So Roncalli in the white tops, red numerals, and the royal blue shorts. Fisher's in the gray tops with the red shorts with the gray trim and the red number. The gym, it's been a minute since I've done a basketball game in here. The east side of the gym. I have to think about in my head where 65 is.
I was out on that one. I have to think of where downtown is, but from over here.
Back over your right shoulder, yeah. That's north
out.
Is behind you. And let's see, waiting to see in the lineups all situated here.
Looks like Fisher's is going to be serving first.
Okay. And we've got Frankie Capo, the coach's son, back to get us underway. And a serve right into the net. So Andrew Meyer, the sophomore, back to serve for Roncalli. Left-hander. And Fishers puts it in play. Hernandez, well, he's got some leaping ability.
Some leaping ability and some ability to read the block. He split that seam right down the middle.
So 2-0, Roncalli out to an early lead, and Meyer hits the net on the serve. Fishers gets it back. Back row that Meyer puts up, and then Tinbarge puts it away off the set from Will Bikes.
You've got to give props to Meyer there.
Island back to serve. His dad, Mark, the assistant coach. Nick Jennings, the acting coach tonight. Block. Still kept alive by Fishers.
Somebody lost a shoe.
John Kesterton not with the program tonight. So Nick Jennings, the 2011 Roncalli graduate, three-time All-State Tournament selection, is in the head man's chair tonight. Meyer, another, keeps it alive on the dig in the back. Luthane's kill was blocked off the end line, all the way back to the end line, and it's another Roncalli point.
Meyer is doing a great job back there, just filling all the gaps in the block and diving on the floor like nobody else right now. Another
serve from Island. It's a knuckler that buckles Hurst in the back row. And another Roncalli point. Island on a nice run of 3 straight. Set up. And nicely put away by Hurst. Fishers gets it back. With a 6-2 deficit, Roncalli on top. Eli Buckler on the serve. Meyer and Luthane taps it wide of the line. Fishers with the point.
You know, I like that idea, though, because you can't swing as hard as you can every single time. You got to keep the defense on their toes. He was trying to tip right over the block, just barely missed it.
You got to mix it up, right?
You got to mix it up. Like you tell the 12-year-olds, try to trick them. Try to trick the other team.
And Buckler airmails the serve over the end line. Roncalli gets it back with a 7-3 lead. Andrew Dial, a sophomore, is in to serve now. Set up and is blocked. DeFore tried to put it away, and Luthane met him at the net for the block. 8-3, Roncalli on top. We got our picture back. Appreciate you hanging with us there. Trying to get the graphic caught back up. First game, 8-3 the score, Roncalli on top. Dial served to the back row. Them set up to put that shot away.
It started on Haberthy was able to just put that down.
Roncalli's on top, 9-3. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and stay here. We're trying to get our graphics caught up. We'll go ahead and stay here. 9-3 our score. We're in break.
Pretty much the story of volleyball. Team passes better.
9-3 our score. First set. Here at Roncalli High, spirited crowd. Dial another serve, and so 10-4, Dufour, senior. Left back behind him, and Fishers gets a, it's only
The knuckleball in baseball has a lot of movement on it.
Island able to get it over.
What do we say? The team that passes better is going to do better.
10-6 on that.
So much.
Student sections being active and getting involved in the act.
I'm going to be stronger than your block and hit it right through there.
Arms. Ryan Shanahan with the block back over, but Fishers keeps it alive. Now Fishers 11-7, Roncalli.
Doubles on that one.
Yep. On that left side. 11, and he puts it into the net.
Shanahan's trying to hit what's called a cut shot over to.
Now Dial again, and he timeout. St. Vincent, Roncalli Media Network.
Passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho, treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back.
Back to action we go. Roncalli sets Strawmans, who's back into the game, and put that one away. 12-10 this to who was going to play that. Charge, and a nice shot to the back corner.
It's another one of those float serves. It's just moving all over the place.
Go, they thought it was going to be long. So a nice serve run by Haberthy of 3 straight, and it's 16-10. Timeout Fishers. Lead set 1. We're back in 30 seconds on the Ascent to St. Vincent. Visit them at 26-36 away from us. In attendance tonight of 5 straight. That gets called from the bench, right? Where the serve is supposed to go.
You know, there's 7 don'ts of serving, and one of them is missing a serve after a timeout.
We'll make the point here in a second as Fisher's back on the serve. Here's Shannon, the basketball team calling a timeout and then turning it over.
That time.
Will Bike subbing in to serve, and he puts a nice serve to the back row, but they won it nonetheless, and it's 18-11. Just nice tip over Shanahan, and his kill is superior energy right now.
And the energy starts with the student sections. Roncalli.
Fishers keeps it alive. They set Hernandez, blocked by Kesterson, but it's
You're not facing the right way. Kesterson was just, his arms were facing out of bounds, and Hernandez is
line by the senior Ryan Shanahan. Number 3, the sophomore. Dufour, and it's blocked by them there to Fishers, and it falls right on their side.
A little bit early, and he was able to just roll it right over the top of their fingers.
Sets Luthane, and he tipped. Biggest of the set for Roncalli, 22-12 by 10 bars at the net as Buckler
there, but they can't seem to put anything down.
Live, but they keep it alive on the Fisher side off the Roncalli block. Now Island Bike.
It came to hit.
Set point here, Meyer. Good low serve over the 4-13. Royals on top, game one. Student section giving a little bit of the business. Luthane blocks it, keeps it alive. Bikes, sets to the back row. Game one goes to the Royals, 25-13. We'll go ahead and step out for 60 seconds. When we come second break on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Number one versus tonight's game brought to us through Recovery. Their team is ready to get you back in the action. Choose Ortho Indy to be your official orthopedic provider. And Heather, we talked during the break, really felt like that the student section for Roncalli had a big impact on that first set.
It does. And like I said earlier, there's kind of two student sections going for Roncalli right now. You have the JV student section behind the bench and the actual students, which you can see on the camera view. And they are really into the game right now. Every single time there's been an ace, there's someone jumping up with the big ace card. I see a good portion of the Roncalli women's volleyball team over here to cheer on their fellow V-ballers. So there's no doubt in my mind that that's definitely making a difference.
Well, that's something that we've missed here during this school year, student sections and their impact on the game. Boy, it has such it's such a key part of the atmosphere.
Especially at Roncalli. I feel like Roncalli is a school that's known for having really invested student sections that will show up for a multitude of different sports and get involved.
Well, your senior year, the football team won the state championship, went undefeated, and that first home game that we had this year, and there were 100 fans there, that the end of the third quarter, you kept waiting for the student section to start jumping and making the press box shake, and it didn't happen. We're back to action to start this second set, and Fishers right out of the chute. Will Buckler, check that, Zach Lewis put that away to give Fishers the first point. We'll see what Fishers' energy level is like here in set two. Luke Island, bikes, sets up 10 barge, and it's saved by Fishers, kept alive. Point continues. And the block by Roncalli goes into the stanchion, and point to Fishers. Nice put away by Frankie Capo, number 2. Yeah, you get the girls softball team just rolled in uniform in the student section. 2-0 early Fishers lead. Shanahan. And the deflection goes near the Fishers bench, but kept alive. Capo sends it back over. Luthane sets bikes. And now Kesterton just tips it over. Capo keeps it alive. Kesterton to 10 barge, and he dunked it, but he got in the net. And Fishers is off to a 3-point run to start this second set.
I can't help but notice with all these balls that are really close to the net, Roncalli's not putting them away. They just keep tipping them back over. It's almost like sending a free ball back over to Fishers.
Luthane bikes 10 barge with a nice push down and puts it away. So the first Roncalli point. Meyer subs back into the game. 3-1. Fishers on top. Meyer serve. Sent across. Island keeps it alive. Bikes sets up Luthane. And Capo keeps it going. Hernandez at the net. Meyer, though, dug it out. Bikes tries to keep it in play, but he can't. He goes careening into the Roncalli bench.
That was an insane out-of-system ball for Fishers. Luthane took a huge rip, and it was almost a shank on Fisher's side, and somehow from the opposite corner, they were able to get a perfect ball out to Hernandez on the outside.
As a result, they have a 4-1 lead, set 2. Roncalli winning the first set. Luthane tries it again. Airmails that one off the back line. And the defending state champion, Fisher, is out to a 5-1 lead here in set 2.
You're starting to hear that energy from Fishers that we were just talking about Roncalli had.
We do see a cluster of Fishers fans across the way in their red and gray. Kesterton tries at it, and the block comes right back over. That was Buckler, number 23, that was waiting, and Nick Jennings wants time. 6-1 Fishers start here in set 2. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come right back. It's Roncalli Boys Volleyball on the Ascent to St. Vincent, Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Heather Lazan back with you at the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium. Roncalli and Fishers, the two top teams in the state. Fishers number 1, Roncalli number 2. Roncalli winning the first set. See if we can't get that first set up on the graphic here before the end of this game. 6-1, the lead for Fishers here in game 2, and that serve goes into the net. Didn't you make a comment about that?
Oh yeah, the seven no's of serving. Can't miss after a timeout.
6-2 the score. Island. Now Capo sets up before. Roncalli back with it. Luthane on the tap. Nice play out of the back by Capo to keep it going. DeFore sends it back over. Island. Meyer. Kesterton, and what's the call? He's in the net. Across the line. And it's 7-2. The score. Fisher's on top. Big serve out of the back by Hernandez, and DeFore came swinging through, but he got in the net.
Roncalli looked out there. Sending an overpass on a serve is just like a perfect set to the other team. Luckily, DeFore was in the net.
And let's see, we've got a discussion here. And it's
just a double sub.
Yep, okay. Number 8, Andrew Dial back to serve for Roncalli, the sophomore. 7-3, Fisher's on top. Island keeps that alive. Dial sets Luthane, and across the floor, he puts it away. Seven 4. Fisher's on top, set 2. Dial. Capo. Hernandez out of the back. Set up by Island at the other end. Luthane puts it right into the block, and another Roncalli point.
Luthane is so good at reading that block. That time Fishers wasn't able to press over the net, and he just used it and got the ball to roll right down their stomachs.
Like he's jumping off a trampoline.
Yeah, that too. That definitely helps when it comes to hitting.
7-5 the score.
That was lifty.
And a nice play put away by Keegan Hurst, number 1, the senior.
Capo able to save that tight pass with a good one-handed set.
8-5 the score. Fisher's on top here in set 2. Island. Now Strawman's back in the match. Sends it to the back row. Capo sets it across as Buckler puts it away. Island couldn't keep it alive for Roncalli. And it's 9-5 in favor of Fishers. Island, Dial. Luthane taps it over. Capo sets DeFore. And right off the back of The deflection of Dial was handcuffed. 10-5, Fishers with the point. You see Mark Island and acting head coach Nick Jennings giving some instruction there off that Fishers point. Good hard serve on the back, and it's long. Well, that was close. That was very close.
He had a jump topspin serve, and man, it just dropped right there near the end line.
Very close. So 10-6 the score. Haberthy's back in, Luthane to serve, and he sends it over the back line, right back to Fishers, 11-6. The Tigers on top. Henry Dufour back to serve, the senior. Number 8. Left hand over, Dial. Sets Haberthy, and the libero, Hoffman, couldn't handle it. And the point goes to the Royals, 11-7, Fishers on top. Haberthy. His serve, and a nice block by Tenbarge, but Fishers keeps it alive. Dufour sends it over. Haberthy, and the ball is poked off the end line long by Fishers. I think Roncalli caught a break there.
No kidding. Haberthy accidentally sent a free ball straight over the net, and somehow, some way, they were not able to put that down.
Put it long. Yeah, Haberthy grinning like he knows he got away with one, I think.
Oh, yeah, he does. He's smirking right now.
And his serve buckles Hernandez, and almost kept alive and saved, but it just fell short of the net. But a great hustle play by Keegan Hurst to go into the Fishers bench on that second hit to give Hernandez an opportunity to keep the point alive. 11-9, Fishers on top. Set 2, Roncalli winning the first. Luthane sends the serve over. And Luthane keeps it alive for Roncalli, comes out of the back, and he puts it down. That was all Luthane that point. Roncalli within 1 after trailing 11-6. Haberthy the serve. And it goes over. Fisher's able to keep it back. Capo at the net. And Strawman's got in it.
No, Strawman's would have held off there. I think it was going to land on Fisher's side.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was going to make it over.
No.
But Strawman's just didn't want to take the chance and try to dunk it back. And
tried to dunk it, and all he needed to do was just block it.
Yep.
Just get your hands in the air in case it comes over.
Yep. Back to serve, Keegan Hurst. 12-10, Fishers leads. Set 2. Sends one toward the back row. Luthane, Dial. Sets Strawman's, and he hits it long off the end line. Had the alley, but he missed it long right in front of Carlos Capo, the head coach, in the red golf shirt and the khaki pants, standing in front of his bench. Luthane plays to Dial. He sets Shanahan, and a nice shot across the floor. Shanahan puts it away. So Roncalli gets it back, down 13-11 here in this second set.
No, Roncalli did so well the first set when they went on serving runs, so hopefully they can get another good run. Oh, I jinxed it.
And Bikes puts the serve into the net. Okay, I'm going to go back to a basketball equivalent there. That's when somebody goes to the free throw line and you tout their free throw percentage being really good, and then they short arm the front end of a one-on-one.
You always hate to watch a game, and you're like, oh, man, announcers jinx. Well,
it's
here
a real
I am.
thing. There you go. Keston hits it off the end line long, and Fishers gets the point. You are officially a broadcaster now. You enacted the announcer jinx.
I know.
You are officially in the club now. 15-11. Fishers on top, set 2. Roncalli won the first. And Hoffman, the libero, puts the serve into the net for Fishers. Roncalli gets it back, down 3. Andrew Meyer subbing back in to take this serve, the sophomore left-hander.
No, I'm going to give credit to that missed serve to the student sections again. Starting to get involved.
Meyer hits a nice sinking serve that Hoffman makes a nice play to go get. Hernandez, though, out of the back, had to try and put it over, and he hit it in the net. Did that sequence start with the serve of Meyer?
Oh, 100%.
The spin he put on that? Or the
drop
lack
serve,
of?
exactly. The serve just dropped off right in front of the libero.
Hoffman plays that one cleaner. Capo sets Hernandez, and the block, though, too much on it off the end line, back to Fishers.
Roncalli's block was there, but they weren't able to press over the net. By that, we mean get your arms over the net and face the ground instead of just facing the back wall.
That's going to put the block down, right? Instead
exactly.
of letting it sail on you. Island, Bikes, sets 10 barge, and he puts it away. So good back and forth. First Hernandez for Roncalli, and then, or for Fishers rather, then the senior 10 barge for Roncalli. Put it down, Royals get it back. Down to 16-14. Luke Island serving. Set up, and Dufour lost the handle on the way up, couldn't put it away. Point for the Royals, back within one. Island on the service. Now Capo sets Buckler, and a nice kill by Buckler to the back right corner. Fishers gets it back up to 17-15. That ball rolled all the way out in the hallway. And girls volleyball coach Christina Erasmus had to go run that one down. Good to see Coach Raz here tonight.
It is, it is. And another shout out to the whole, we've got about 3/4 of the team here watching.
And Hernandez's serve goes into the net. Speaking of which, I'm sure that if your sister wasn't at New Pal throwing shot put tonight, she'd be here as well.
Oh, I'm sure she would. You know what? She might roll in late, too. That would not surprise me.
She might. And the serve goes long for Roncalli. Back to Fishers, 18-16. That was Jacob Ermer who hit that one long, number 19. That was his first action of the night in the varsity match. And a nice kill by Haberthy. The deflection takes it into the stands. So teams trading points back and forth. Roncalli gets it back down one. Shanahan subbing back in for Meyer. 17-18, Roncalli in a 1-point hole. Luthane to serve. Capo. And Shanahan tries to save it, but he goes into the stands. That's a nice put away by Buckler.
He goes into the stands hard there. Love that effort.
19-17. Roncalli down two. Back to serve Henry Dufour. Fishers a 2-point lead. Now we're set to go. Mark Island, the assistant coach, talking to one of our officials right before this point, getting clarification. Ermer, Bikes, sets Shanahan. He tried to put it down the line, took a little bit off of it, but hit it wide.
It looked like a miscommunication there. Shanahan was coming in for a 3 ball, which is a little bit closer to the setter, and he was setting him a normal outside ball.
So timeout, Roncalli trailing 20-17 in set number 2. Let's go ahead and take a break and come right back.
So you think you can beat a train? Well, think again. While trains can appear to be slow moving, they can easily cause injuries or death. You must slow down and yield at all railroad crossings. Attempting to beat the train puts yourself and others at risk. According to the Federal Railroad Administration, there were over 2,200 railroad crossing collisions in the United States last year, resulting in 293 deaths. Don't be a statistic. Look, listen, and live.
Back at Roncalli High School, 2017 our score. Fishers on top of Roncalli. Set 2. Roncalli winning set 1. Fishers, the defending state champion, undefeated, coming in 28-0. Ranked nationally.
Number 8 nationally.
Number 8, thank you. I'm glad you knew. I knew they were, but you did the work. Bikes put it over unexpectedly, but Fishers recovers. Now Island for Roncalli. They get into sequence, and Luthane from the back row sends it over. Capo. And a nice put away by Hurst for Fishers. And it's a 4-point lead for the Tigers here in set 2. Roncalli's baseball team improved to 6-0. Baseball winning tonight's 3-1 over Covenant Christian, 6-0 in the conference with 4 games to go. And a nice put away, hit away by Haberthy, but kept alive by Fishers. Ermer for Roncalli, bikes, sets Haberthy, who pokes it over. Capo, and a nice misdirection play by Hoffman for Fishers. What'd you see there, Heather?
That started with Capo. He went up like he was going to dump it on the second ball as a setter and then ended up setting it back. So Roncalli was way off kilter when it came to blocking and defense.
Serve by Fisher. Shanahan hits it in the block, gets it back. Now Ermer out of the back, sets it over. Capo sets Hoffman. Ermer keeps it alive on a nice play. Bike sets Luthane from the back row, but he came from the back row.
His foot was on the 10-foot line when he went to jump, so he qualified as a front row hitter that time.
Gotcha. So Roncalli softball team improving to 3-0 in the conference with a 12-0 win over Heritage Christian tonight. Weather permitting, they'll be back in action tomorrow night against Franklin Central here at home. We'll have the game for you if it's played. 23-17, Fisher's 2 points away from set 2. Ermer and Bikes. Got the double there.
I mean, Dufour has a killer serve right now. Roncalli's not passing so hot, and they've only been able to set their outsides.
Set point. Set point for Fishers, leading 24-17. Island. Bikes. Oh, he set Haberthy and he put it away.
Put it away is an understatement. That might have been on the 6-foot line there.
Heather, I'm not sure. It looked like Haberthy just kind of levitated for a second, like Bikes put it up and Haberthy jumped early, and it was almost like he paused himself and just waited on it. Oh, my.
Hang time.
So Roncalli's still alive, have work to do. Down 24-18 here in set 2. They won set 1. Hoffman and Ermer with a nice recovery. Capo out of the back, Hernandez. It's blocked by Roncalli, kept alive. Bikes sets Shanahan, and he hits it into the block, and Fishers takes set 2, 25-18. The plot has thickened. 25-18, Fishers takes set 2, 1 set apiece between the top-ranked teams in the state. We'll take a 60-second break. When we come back, Jane Jennings will join us for some interview time. Coming up next on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Welcome back to the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium on the campus of Roncalli High School. Number 1 versus number 2. Fishers and Roncalli. Boys volleyball, 1 set apiece. About to start set 3. And Rob Brown and Heather Lozon with you. We're pleased to be joined on the 3rd microphone by Jane Jennings, one-time head coach of this program back in 29, 10, and 11. Affiliation with the program goes much beyond that, and of course your son acting as the interim head coach tonight. Coach, what are your impressions here through the first 2 sets?
Well, Roncalli started off, so strong and fired up, making a few errors, and then come out the second set and start making a few errors and letting that get in their head, and whoo. Still goes down to serving and passing, I think, no matter how good you can hit that ball.
Well, Heather and I were talking during set one that Roncalli jumped out to a lead, never surrendered the lead in the first set.
Right.
Won that first set. How much of it, especially in a match like this where the teams are both high quality, 1 versus 2, there's a lot riding on this. How much of it comes down to not just what you said with fundamentals, but just energy? Which team has the most energy?
Well, I think you need the energy, but I think you need the confidence when you step in and play. Roncalli got off to a great lead, and then they got a little bit of a lull with a couple setting mishaps here or there. And that's just nerves of a big game. But, boy, you got to come down to your leaders, you know, to calm everyone down and to carry the team through those tough points, which they did the first game. So, hopefully in the third match, they'll get off to that same start.
Heather, what sorts of adjustments did you see from Fishers in that second set?
Well, right off the bat, after we had talked about our energy, they brought more energy. And another thing that they started doing was their serve-receive passing was better. I did notice the second set that Roncalli missed a lot more serves, too, which you can't win without going on runs, and that's how the first set happened.
Yeah. That's always one of my main things, that these boys and the girls' side, they play so hard for each point, and then they'll go back and miss a serve, which is one of the easiest parts of the game. So frustrating to say the least, I would.
Oh, yes.
So Keegan Hurst from Fishers will get us started for set 3, 1 apiece. Pivotal third game here. Hurst sends it over, Luthane to Bikes. Poked over by Tenbarge, kept alive, Capo. Sets Hernandez into the block, Casterton regroups. Bikes.
Oh, that's it.
And that will go to Fishers.
Another double on Bikes. It almost looks like the nerves are just getting to him. Right now, he's just in his own head.
Yes.
He knows how to set.
Setters are in their own head, overthinking a little bit instead of letting the game come to them.
Island plays the serve. Bikes sends it back to Shanahan, and Bikes get in the net there.
He went under the net. That always confuses me because that rule changes every year. Whether you can get a whole foot under or not, whether it affects the play.
What is that rule?
It's usually you got to be all the way over your whole foot, but I don't know if they've changed that.
I know. That didn't look like all the way to me, but.
Shanahan with a nice kill. We'll get it back. After Fishers got the first 2 points of set 3, Shanahan on the kill.
It's nice. He's had a couple nice shots there.
He really works that line on the right side.
Yes, that's
very
a tough
well.
shot to make, and he's hit it a couple times.
Andrew Meyer, the sophomore, subbing in. He has been probably Roncalli's most effective server here through the first 2 sets. Capo sends it over. Oh, he caught Roncalli napping there. The block had yet to materialize. And Capo with a nice play.
Yeah, losing track of your setter and what he can and can't do.
Something tells me they thought he was a back row setter that time.
Here's Hoffman, the libero, sends the serve over. Meyer plays to Bikes, and Tenbarge up high to get it and put it away.
You know, we've been talking about Luthane's vertical a lot. Tenbarge, for being such a short middle, can jump really high as well.
He's done a nice job.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'3". They actually have him listed shorter than Luthane. They look to be about the same size. Island puts over a nice slow serve. Hernandez winds up and hits it off the block for a point.
And no offense to Tenbarge, 6'3" is very tall, but when you're standing next to your other middle, Sean Haberthy at 6'6",
right?
You're looking like the smaller middle for sure.
4-2. Fishers on top here in this third set. Meyer, Bikes,
there you go.
Sets Haberthy, kept alive by the libero Hoffman, and Hernandez sends it over. Meyer, Bikes, sets Luthane. Ooh, and he took a little something off of it, tapped it over, and Roncalli gets the point. That's that off-speed pitch, Heather, you talked about.
Just got to keep the defense on their toes. It's not always going to work pounding it every single time, especially with Fishers, who puts up such a good block. You got to throw in a couple off-speed shots.
Dial, the sophomore, into serve at 3-4. Capo sets Hernandez, double. And we're tied at 4. First tie.
Sorry, I kind of throw that out there. Ooh, hoping they call it.
I've done that
Coach,
a couple
if you
times.
see something, please speak up. Please speak up if you see something.
I'd like to have my microphone go right to the referee.
4-4, our score here. Early stages, set 3. Each team getting 1 in the first 2. Capo to 4, sends it across court. Island plays it back, and Haberthy went up to get it, and it's wide. He put it wide.
Somehow, some way, they're thinking that didn't touch the block, but went through a lot of people to get out of bounds.
Yeah,
I was hoping for a touch.
It traveled an interesting path to get to the sideline there. Hernandez, and nice job by Meyer to keep that serve in play. Strawman's into the block. Island keeps it alive for Roncalli. Luthane, nice dig out of the back by Hernandez. And Hurst with a nice kill for Fishers. 6-4, the Tigers on top.
They got stuck in this rotation last game as well. You got your big hitter on the right side. I'd like to see that head coach down there move him over.
And serve goes long.
Roncalli looked out of that one. Hernandez has such a powerful topspin serve. He leads the team in aces with 101 and averages 1.3 aces a set. That's a ton.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Luthane back to serve for Roncalli. That serve knuckled the libero Hoffman, but a nice job by Hurst to just send that one over, and then Haberthy put it in the net. Well, Fishers has to consider themselves very fortunate they got a point there.
Yeah. I think that set was a little low.
Nick Jennings, the acting head coach tonight, just claps his hands together in frustration and paces back to the end of his bench to watch this next point. Dial. Island has to send it over from the back and does. Capo sets to 4, and his kill is just inside the back line. That was deflected, says the chair umpire. So 8-5 the score. Roncalli trailing Fishers here in set 3. Good hard serve from Max Hoffman, number 24. Shanahan pokes it toward the back row. Capo.
All right, all right.
We've got a double from the back.
Take that when we can.
8-6. Roncalli trailing. Heather, we talked earlier about just how rare it is to have a student section in a gym during this COVID school year. And nice serve by Haberthy that handcuffs Hernandez. Another thing that we've not been able to do this year in any sport is because the coaches are masked up, you can't read their facial expressions. But boy, the body language would suggest that Coach Jennings is a cool customer down there. There's been very little reaction from him. Kept alive, Dial. Now Shanahan into the block. Capo resets. Capo plays it out of the back, and a rare shot from Capo from the back.
Now, would you say that Coach Jennings down there is a cool cucumber, as Rob says?
I can imagine what's going on underneath that mask. It's taken my son many years to become cool. He's pretty fiery.
Well, he's handling things tonight. 10 Barge hits it right in the block where they were waiting for him right there in the middle. And Fishers gets another point. 3-point lead, 10-7 here in set 3.
That's one thing I have heard from a lot of coaches of different sports, that the masks aren't necessarily the worst thing in the world.
Well, I've heard that. I've heard that as well. The serve clips the net, and that threw off Island's timing from the back, and Fishers gets a little bit of a gift point there, 11-7.
It all comes back to serving and passing again.
Dufour out of the back, the left-hand serve. Luthane hits it over Hernandez. Capo. Hoffman from the back, puts it back to the Roncalli side. Luthane to Dial.
Get up there.
Shanahan into the block, and it stays in play. Another point for Fishers. 4-point run. Timeout Roncalli with Fishers leading 12-7. Coach, we appreciate you setting in with us.
Thank you. Thank you for
having me. Let you go
having
down
me.
and enjoy this and enjoy the rest of this match. Jane Jennings joining us. We'll take a break for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli Volleyball in the Ascension St. Vincent, Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Rob Brown and Heather Lozon back with you. Appreciate Jane Jennings, one-time head coach of this program, and mom of acting head coach Nick Jennings, taking a little time with us. That was nice to have Coach Jennings sit in with us.
It was, for sure. And like we said earlier, the Jennings, they know the volleyball world for sure.
Strawman sends it over took a little something off of it, and the point goes back to Roncalli. That stops a 4-point Fishers run and gets the Royals the serve back. At some point, though, we had to let her go down and be a mom again and kind of sit in the stands and not be encumbered by a live microphone. Say what she likes. Bikes serving. Capo into the block and deflects off the inline. Zach Lewis, number 21, hit that into the block to get the point for the Tigers. 13-8, they lead.
Roncalli just needs a really good pass right here. A lot of their serve-receive passes have been a little off. They need a good 3-ball, meaning they can set all 3 hitters so they can get a side out.
Island, Bikes, sets, Shanahan, and dug out of there by Hurst. Hernandez plays it back in. Hurst has to send it over from the back. 10 Barge gets it back from Bikes and into the block. Sends it right back over, does Fishers, and Roncalli was not ready to respond. 14-8. Fishers leads 14-8 here in set 3. Each team winning a set. Roncalli set 1, Fishers set 2. Island Bikes sets Kesterson, and he wound up, but his shot down the line was wide. And the Tigers with their biggest lead of this set 3, 15-8. It's a 7-point lead. Keegan Hurst serving. Bikes sets 10 Barge, and he puts it down. Boy, Roncalli needed that one badly.
Yeah, they did.
Just to stop that run, Heather, just to get a little momentum back.
Keegan Hurst has had a really good serve all night, but he really knocked a few off there.
Andrew Meyer, speaking of players that have had good serve runs tonight, Andrew Meyer back in for Roncalli to serve the sophomore left-hander. DeFore, Capo, sets Hernandez, and the block is ready for Hernandez that time. Ooh, Kesterton's flexed his muscles a little bit. He was ready and willing to turn Hernandez away.
I mean, a big block like that is just the best feeling. Talk about a momentum swing.
See if Meyer can capitalize and keep it going. Hurst went too far with that pass out of the back, and it went into the cord off of Capo. 3 straight Roncalli points back to within 4. DeFore to Hernandez. Bikes, sets Luthane. And he hits it down the line, right down the alley for a point. Energy level picking up in here, Heather. Timeout Fishers. Timeout Fishers. Roncalli's rolled off 4 in a row. Fishers leads 15-12, set 3. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli Boys Volleyball on the Ascension St. Vincent, Roncalli Media Network. Roncalli on a 4-point run, back to action, trailing 15-12. Kesterton keeps it alive, bikes, sets Luthane, and he puts it down. My, oh my.
Talk about splitting the seam again. Fisher's middle blocker was just a little bit late there, and Luthane took full advantage.
It's like he's on a pogo stick. 15-13.
No, I wish I had that much ups when I
geez.
played. Would have made a difference.
Hernandez with a nice off-speed tap over the net. Roncalli was expecting the big swing from the Ball State commit, and he hit him with a little deception. So that breaks a 5-point Roncalli run. Gives Fishers the serve back up 3, 16-13 here in set 3. Hoffman serving. Bikes, sets Luthane, and right into the block, and the block stays true. Lands about 1.5 feet inside the back line. So effective block, keyed there by Eli Buckler, number 23. (17-13). Island. Now Kesterton. Put it over softly. Capo saved it. Tapped over by Buckler. Bikes, sets Luthane, puts it into the block and puts it away. (17-14) our score. Fisher's on top by 3. Island serving, and it handcuffed Hurst, and his pass out of the back ends up in the bleachers.
You know, to someone who doesn't play volleyball, these serves probably don't look like they're that hard, but man, they have some movement on them. They are so hard to track in.
Capo sets Hernandez into the block by Roncalli, heads back over. Capo tries it again. Hernandez tries it again. Roncalli blocks again. Bikes, sets Luthane, and the block is out. Boy, that was very close. Fishers was waiting for Luthane, but the block came back over to the Roncalli side, but just couldn't quite stay in. After trailing by 7, Royals are within a point of tying this up, and the serve handcuffs to 4. Hernandez keeps it alive. Capo has to send it over. Bikes, sets Haberthy, and he puts it down to tie it up.
I love that play. Haberthy ran a slide behind the setter, and it's not something they've done that much. So Fisher's block had no idea what was happening there. I love a good slide.
So Roncalli trailed 15-8. Now it's tied at 17. And what's the call? Kesterton hit it wide. But Fishers was in the net. Is that the call?
Fishers was in the net.
Okay, so Roncalli's grabbed the lead. This is the first time tonight that we've had a lead change. Capo waits, now sets. And Roncalli couldn't handle it. Fishers gets it back, tied at 18. Roncalli led from start to finish in set 1. Fishers did the same in set 2. Roncalli briefly led 18-17. Now it's 18-18. Bikes sets Haberthy, kept alive by the libero. Now Capo sets Hernandez, and he airmails the back line, just missed it. Boy, that was within a half a foot of being in. But it's a Roncalli point, 19-18. And let's see Dial coming in, number 8, the sophomore Andrew Dial coming in to serve with the Royals up a point here in set 3. Lively, lively atmosphere at the Vinny tonight. On the back line, serve received to 4, he puts it in, that was in. Yeah, we had a good look at that. That looked in on the put away.
Looks like Coach Nick Jennings is getting a warning for questioning the call.
I think it was the right one, don't you?
I thought it was out, honestly, but it was close and could have gone either way.
Tied up, Hernandez serve, Dial, sets to Luthane, and he left no doubt. My, oh my.
Luthane is really stepping up in this game. He is into it right now.
And he's serving now with the Royals up 20-19 here in set 3. Capo, and Island sends it right back over. Capo sets Hernandez from the back, and Roncalli was caught in between.
You know, I don't know that Hernandez meant to do that necessarily, but worked out in his favor.
I've heard people tell me that's called the donut hole. Is that right?
That is the donut hole.
I know a little bit. I know just enough to be dangerous. 20-20, Fishers has the serve back. That's Eli Buckler with the serve. Shanahan into the block. They couldn't find it. Shanahan hit it in the block, and it hung up long enough for Fishers to make a play. They just couldn't locate the ball. Back on top, Roncalli, 21-20, set 3. Haberthy back to serve. Sends a low sinker. Capo, easily received at the other end by Roncalli. From the back line, Luthane puts it in. Oh my. He took off from Carson Square. 22-20, timeout Fishers. Timeout Fishers, Roncalli leads 22-20, set 3. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli Boys Volleyball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Rob Brown, Heather Luzon back at a lively Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium. Royals leading Fishers here, 22-20 in set 3. Each team with a set banked already. Haberthy back to serve after the Fishers timeout. Hurst on the receive. DeFore with a nice kill across the court. Fishers gets it back. Boy, if you're Heather, if you're a coach and you're on defense, you call timeout. That's what you want to see. You want to see your team get that ball right back.
Oh yeah, you do. A big first kill side out. There's whole drills for that.
22-21, Roncalli still on top. Nice serve by Hurst, and Roncalli never got settled. And we're tied at 22. (22-22). These next couple points are going to go a long way to deciding tonight's outcome. DeFore, serve into the net. He went low with the last one. This one a little too low. Clipped the net. And Bikes back to serve with Roncalli 2 points away from taking a 2-set-to-1 advantage. Kesterson's back in for Roncalli, number 9. Bikes. Capo. And it's tapped over. Nice play by 10 Bars to keep it alive. Bikes sets Shanahan. Hits it in the block. Recovery by the libero Hoffman. Capo sets Hurst. Luthane sets it. He wants it back. Jumps from the back line. He tapped it over into the no man's land for the point. Boy, Heather, we saw a good look at it before Luthane hit that first ball. He said to Bikes, send it back.
Luthane, you know, sometimes when you really want the ball, you can kind of address the pass to where the setter can only set you. Oh.
Set point, and Bikes sent the serve off the end line.
You know, back when I managed boys volleyball, if you miss set point serve, you got to buy everybody donuts next practice.
Oh, my. Timeout. Timeout called. 24-23. We'll go ahead and stay right here. We'll stay here, 24-23. With Roncalli leading set 3. Fisher serving, down a point. Really good crowd here. Great student section across the way from us. They have been out there. Somebody has a Finding Nemo hat on over there.
I think I see Nemo, and I saw Dory earlier,
earlier, yeah. Holding the ace sign is Connor Ray, who finished 4th in the Marion County Golf Tournament yesterday, as the Royals were 2nd in the team competition. We're set to go. Out of the timeout, 24-23. Roncalli leads, Keegan Hurst serving. Student section letting it be heard. Bikes sets Shanahan, and he sent it long up the back. We're out tied at 24.
Now you do have to win by 2 here, so we are now going to 26.
Minimum, right? 26 minimum.
Minimum, yes.
Hurst with another serve. Island sends Bikes from the back line. Luthane into the block, kept alive by Fishers. Capo sets Hernandez. Luthane tried to play it, and Island keeps it alive. Kesterson sends it over to the back. Play continues. Capo sets Hernandez into the block, and Roncalli can't find it. Wait a second, Hernandez was in the net.
Hernandez was in the net.
So it's Roncalli's point. Roncalli's point.
And look who's up to serve.
And it's Andrew Meyer, the sophomore. Been the most effective server of the night for Roncalli thus far. The chance to put set 3 in the books. Roncalli up 25-24. As Heather said, you have to win by 2 from this point. Meyer. Hurst. Capo. And it's put down by Zach Lewis. That was well formed and well played by the Tigers. On we go, 25-25. Back to serve the libero Max Hoffman here in game 3. Set 3, I should say. Island. Bike sets Kesterson. And he hits it right off the block in the back. That might have gone long. But he hit it right at Hurst, and Hurst
he had a lot of top spin on that ball.
Nowhere to go. Hurst
nowhere
couldn't get out of the way of it. Even if he thought it was going to go long, there was so much on that, Hurst couldn't get out of the way. So Luke Island is back. Mark Island's his dad, the assistant coach. Luke Island is back to serve with Roncalli up 26-25. Capo, Hernandez took a little something off of it and hit it right over the wall. We're tied at 26. Back and forth we go. Neither team has led by more than a point since Roncalli came back to tie it at 18. 26-26. Bikes, sets Luthane. Oh, and he hit about a 100-mile-an-hour screamer right across the court. 27-26. Roncalli back on top. This is high level right here. High level volleyball. And it's only set 3.
Only set 3.
Only set 3. Dial back to serve for the match, or for the set here. Sends it to the back line. Hoffman handcuffed, but Capo recovers. Sets to 4 and kept alive. Meyer tries to send it over, and he does. And DeFore puts it away back. All Meyer could do was try and get it over, and DeFore puts the free ball down for the point to tie it at 27. Back to serve is Hernandez.
One question is, can Roncalli take advantage with Hernandez in the back row?
And Hernandez hits the serve long. 28-27. Luthane is back to serve again. Seemed like he was just back there, but
it's been real back and forth the last few points.
Rotated all the way through. Luthane hits the serve to the back row. Capo. DeFore into the block, but recovered. Capo. Now they set Hurst. The block is ready. Capo, he's got to set up. And Hurst in the back row, Luthane. Dial sets Luthane. The tapper, and he hit it wide. Oh, he had the space, but he pushed it just wide. Right idea, but he just missed it. Oh, my.
That was a great spot, too, because even if Capo would have got it up, your setter's out of play now. You're in an out-of-system ball. It's just harder to hit that way.
28-28. Buckler. Serve played by Island. Dial sets Shanahan. Hits it into the block. Fishers keeps it alive. Capo set it back to Hernandez in the back row. Island sets it up. Dial to Shanahan, and he hits it and handcuffs Buckler. Into the stands it goes. Roncalli again with the advantage, but each time, once we've gotten into quote-unquote extra time, Roncalli's had a point away from the set, and Fishers has had an answer. Let's see what Haberthy has here on the serve. Hurst got a little too much on it, and Fishers couldn't get back in sequence, and Roncalli wins the set. Strawmans tips it in. 30-28 the score. My, oh my.
You know, we talked about the announcer's jinx earlier, so I didn't want to say anything, but I really think Roncalli needed that set.
I think you're right. I think we need a minute break to get ourselves back together and ration out the adrenaline a little bit. We've got set 4 coming up after we take this 60-second break on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Heather Lazan back with you at the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium. Roncalli winning set 3 and a thriller, 30-28. It's a 2-1 Roncalli lead. Roncalli just the second team all season to win 2 sets against Fishers in one match. Now we should point out, Heather, that Cathedral won 2 sets in a match against Fishers about actually 2 weeks ago tonight, and Fishers still won the match 3-2.
Yeah, by no means is this over. Fishers has dropped a few sets to Roncalli and Cathedral all year, but they're going to come back, and they're probably going to come back a little fired up after that thriller of a third set.
Yeah, you've got to have, I think if you're Roncalli, you've got to have, you've got to find a way, because the last 10 to 12 points in that third set, to say that they were emotional will be short-selling it. And somehow you've got to find a way if you're Roncalli. I think if you're Fishers, it's easy to be motivated. Like, hey, we got to dig in and get this fourth set. But if you're Roncalli, you got to find a way to come off that peak. And you can't stay there. It's not physically possible, but you've got to keep the energy up.
Definitely got to keep the energy up. And one thing that we saw from the first to the second set was Roncalli started missing serves. They've got to keep serving aggressively. That last 10 to 12 points, they were on a run. They were serving aggressively. They were getting Fishers out of system, and it helps. You've got to go on runs. Volleyball is a game of runs, and it's a game of serving and passing.
I think I've heard you say that before.
Oh, my gosh. It's almost like it's, you know.
It's almost like you said that an hour ago.
It's like it's the theme of the game. Like, it's needed.
Well, while we have a second and they get the lineups all squared away, we'll remind you that at Indiana American Credit Union, you can get pre-approved and streamline the vehicle buying process. It's fast, free, and will take you down a quicker road to the car of your dreams. Visit imcu.com for more information. We did the Ortho Indy read earlier in the broadcast. We did not mention, however, that Ortho Indy is the sponsor of our player of the match. We'll name one for each team in the postgame show, and Heather will be in charge of that. So she'll be up to the task, picking a man of the match for each team. Roncalli will serve to start set 4, leading 2-1. Will Bikes is back. First plays to Capo, and it's slammed down quickly, deflected off of Luthane into the stands. And Eli Buckler, number 23, was there to put it away quickly. You
know, one thing that's not stressed enough in volleyball is getting the middles involved early in sets, because now Ten Barge is going to be watching the middle, and it's going to leave a lane open for the outsides.
Ten Barge hits it out of the middle, but Fishers was ready. DeFore sends it to Bikes, who had to redirect, and now Island has to send it over from the back row. Hurst, Capo, DeFore, Lethane with a nice play. It goes off the basketball goal above the court, though, and it ricochets down. Now, the goal is in play as long as the ball stays on the same side of the net.
Correct. And in the new gym, that doesn't come into play quite as much as it used to.
Shanahan. Capo plays it for Fishers. Hernandez into the block, and it goes out of bounds off of Roncalli. It's a quick 3-0 Fishers start. I believe this is the number. I think the ceiling here in this gym that is about a year and a half old, opened in December of 19. I believe the ceiling is 19 feet higher.
I was going to say gym. 18, so it's somewhere around there. I heard 18 somewhere along the lines.
And as someone who played her home volleyball matches in the old gym across the parking lot, that low ceiling was a home court advantage for sure.
Oh, 100%, especially against a school like Fishers or a huge 6A school, because they're used to massive field houses, so you can take advantage of that low ceiling and all the banners.
Shanahan plays that one in the net, and Roncalli's in a 5-0 hole to start this fourth set. Yeah, there were times in the old gym across the parking lot where the ball would go up into the ceiling, into the rafters on the visiting side. Ten Barge puts it down, and Roncalli finally gets on the board here. The ball would go up in the rafters and come down on the visiting side, and it was as if the ball was coated in butcher knives. That thing coming down, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. Andrew Meyer subbing in to serve. Out of the back. And just never got that pass where it needed to be for DeFore. Capo taps his chest, says, my fault. He knew it immediately.
You could hear Capo that time yelling, tight, tight, tight. Just a little bit off on the set.
Yep, pass went so close to the net, DeFore had nowhere to go. Now Hernandez with room to operate, hits it into the wall, and Roncalli couldn't recover it, out. And the point goes to Fishers, 6-2 they lead. 2-1 the score, Roncalli leading 2-1. 6-2 our score here in set 4. Hernandez, and it ricochets off of Island, who plays it right back over as a defense mechanism. Island does the same thing, and this time, though, the ball is tapped down by DeFore, and it's 7-2. You can only get away with that for so long.
Like we said earlier, overpasses are just a joy to the other team. I'm surprised they haven't taken advantage of more of those.
7-2, Fishers leads. Hernandez, Island, Bikes, tried to set Ten Barge, blocked back. Roncalli keeps it alive. Lethane took a little something off, and the deflection stays on the Fishers side for the Roncalli point. 7-3 the score. Roncalli gets it back, Island on the serve. Hoffman Libero went too far with it, and Lethane puts it away. That time Roncalli got a little bit back that they'd been giving.
They took advantage of the overpass.
Lethane was ready for it. Island, good serve. Capo sets DeFore. Meyer out of the back, couldn't keep it alive. Tried to, but couldn't elevate it above the net to get a second pass. And it's 8-4 in favor of Fishers. Buckler. Island plays Bikes, and Lethane, or make that Haberthy into the block. Back the other way, Hurst couldn't get over the top of it and sends it off the end line. On a play like that, Heather, with Hurst, what's he trying to do? Where's he trying to get his hand on that ball?
He's trying
so that it doesn't sail on him.
He wants it to sail, but he's trying to hit it high off the hands, because as long as it touches the block, it's Fisher's point. So he's trying to hit it high off the hands to go sailing out of bounds. Just barely missed the hands there.
Capo sets Buckler, and Roncalli was ready for it. Haberthy and Strawman's there in the middle. Sent it right back, and it's 8-6.
I know I say he's trying to hit it high off the hands. That's a difficult shot to do. And it's not one that's really like stressed until college because you have to have enough control to hit the hands and not send it sailing out of bounds
I
like
have
just
to think
happened.
the margin for error on that's pretty slim.
Yeah.
Hurst. Now Capo. Hernandez has to set it over from the back row. Luthane, time to wind it up, but Capo with a nice save. Dial digs it out. Haberthy sets Luthane across the floor. Was it in or out? Let's see. It's in.
And Coach Capo on Fisher's side is just shaking his head. That was a really good hit for Luthane on the cut shot on the 10-foot line. There's almost no defenders that can get to that one.
That angle's awfully tight, though, right?
That angle will dislocate your shoulder, let me tell you. Speaking from experience.
8-7. Hurst fists it over. Meyer to Dial, and Haberthy swung on it and mistimed his jump. He swung on it and missed.
Haberthy trying to run a slide behind the setter there, and the timing was just off.
Well, he executed that same play perfectly in the previous set. DeFore puts the serve into the net. It's 9-8. Luthane back to serve. Capo kept the errant shot alive, but they just couldn't get it back in sequence. And Roncalli's come back after trailing 5-0 to tie it at 9. Capo, nice play. He set Lewis, hit it into the wall, and the wall could not handle it. Just rolled right down Strawman's arm.
Strawman just has to work a little bit harder to actually press over the net and not just go straight up.
Hurst in the back. Dial, Haberthy into the block. Nice play. Deflects on the Fisher side, and Roncalli ties it back up at 10. Tenbarge subbing back in, number 7 for Roncalli. Haberthy, a nice tight serve. Too much of an overpass, and Shanahan was ready to make him pay for it. Put it down, and Roncalli has its first lead of the set 4, 11-10.
Shanahan and Capo went up there for the joust. There's a new term for you.
Yeah, oh, I like that.
They went up for the joust, and Shanahan was able to beat him out on that one.
Haberthy hit that serve long. Back to an 11-11 tie. Heather, we've seen more overpassing in this game, or this set particular, than the first 3 combined, I think.
No kidding.
11-11, and good teams like this, as you would expect, taking advantage on both sides. Luthane out of the back. Strawman's into the block. Oh, and it trickled over by Dial. Point continues on the Fisher side. Hernandez puts that one away.
Hernandez got up on that play. We keep talking about Luthane's vertical, and he said, I have a pretty good one, too.
Yeah, it's not shabby. Not shabby. Fisher's back on top, 12-11. And not sure what we were waiting on there.
Well, I did see the hand sanitizer fall. I wonder if the floor got a little wet.
I think the floor did get a little wet. David Lauck, the athletic director, taking care of things down there in the corner. Girls lacrosse team is walking in now as Tenbarge hits it across the court, but it could not stay in. And Fishers has scored 3 straight points to get the lead back to 2, 13-11. Hoffman serving. Dial sets Shanahan into the block. Hoffman and overpass. Strawman's put it down and then pounds his forehead with both fists in celebration. That's a new one.
That is a new one.
I've not seen that.
I used to see that in softball a long time ago. They used to call it dogs.
The double fist pound to the forehead. Saw that from the Los Angeles Clippers 20 years ago, but that was the last time I saw it.
After a big hit in softball, you're a dog if you can get a double or more.
Okay. Hernandez kept alive by Luthane nicely. Bikes, sets up Shanahan. Point continues. Capo sets Hernandez, and he hits it right down the alley. Hernandez taking
really
things under control here.
I was going to say, I couldn't really tell if Hernandez hit the seam there or if he just got up and over the block. He was pretty high again.
Shanahan to Bikes, back to Shanahan, and a nice play by Hoffman to dig it out from the back row. Hirsch sends it over. Island to Bikes. Now from the back line, Luthane into the block, and was it touched? Let's see. Yes, it was. Says the floor umpire. It was touched by Shanahan. That's a Fisher's point and a 15-12 lead. 15-12 the lead. Luthane to Bikes. Now Shanahan into the wall, 10 barge. Luthane from the back row into the block, and it goes out of bounds off a 10 barge. 16-12. Roncalli wants time. Timeout Roncalli. 16-12 the score in set 4. Fishers leads. We're back in 30 seconds on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network. Rob Brown, Heather Lazan back with you at the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium. Well, you look across the way at the student section. There are girls in softball uniforms. There's kids that have come back from a track meet. We see Eli Crouch across the way who high jumped 6'8" tonight, 1 inch off the school record.
Did he?
The junior. Girls lacrosse players coming in their uniforms. They won at Brownsburg last night. As we resume action, Capo serves it into the net, and Roncalli gets it back. Down 3, 16-13. Meyer into serve. He's been so effective tonight. Capo sets to 4. Island defensively sends it back over on the reflex. DeFur tries again. And Bikes with a nice recovery. Island sets Luthane, and he took a little something off. Sent back over. Luthane to Bikes. Back to Luthane. And the deflection hits back to Luthane, or hits Luthane, then goes out of bounds. That's a tough break.
I can't help but think that Fisher's coach must have mentioned Luthane's our main hitter right now. They just seem to be keen on Luthane. Everything he's got 2 or 3 blockers in his face.
Here's Hernandez on the serve. Oh, he sends a rocket over that just clips the cord into the Roncalli in, and Luthane leaves no doubt on that one. Roncalli gets it back. Heather, I would say though, and you mentioned it as we got deep into set 3, as much as Luthane took set 3 over for Roncalli, Hernandez is doing the same thing for Fishers.
He had a lot of oomph on that last serve for sure. You can see that he really has a drive to get this set.
Oh, and put down nicely. Right in the middle by Buckler, number 23. Fishers gets it right back up 18-14. And Buckler goes back to serve. Set 4, Roncalli leads 2-1 in the sets.
There's a deep serve there.
Kesterton sneaks up, taps it to the back line. Capo sets to 4. And he hits it right into the hole for the Fishers point, 19-14. And Nick Jennings wants another timeout, his second. Timeout Roncalli. 19-14, Fishers leads set 4. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli Boys Volleyball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital. But we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag. On two. Ready? Break. Nice ride.
Well, coming right out of the commercial timeout, Haberthy puts it away for Roncalli, and it's a Royals point. 19-15 the score. Andrew Dial subbing in to go back to serve. (19-15) Royals trail by 4. Hurst plays it to Capo. DeFore across the floor. Dial saves for Roncalli. Now Strawman's tries a tap over. Capo sets it back up. Hurst into the block, and it goes into the net for Fisher's point, 20-15.
So Haberthy had his shoulder open. We can actually see former coach Mitch Allard down here saying the same thing. Haberthy didn't get his shoulder turned all the way back into the court right there, and it just rolled down his right arm.
Great catching up with Mitch before the match tonight. Brendan Luthane, played by Fisher's, kept alive. Hurst out of the back, off the deflection from Meyer. That's another Fisher's point. Yeah, great catching up with Mitch Allard, former head coach of this program. His sons, CJ and Jacobs, both top-notch players, CJ and Jacob. CJ Allard, one of my favorite guys when he was a student broadcaster here. Back in 2009, 2010. Luthane handcuffed on that serve. And now Fishers is in the driver's seat here in this set 4, 22-15.
Seems to be an energy switch in the gymnasium.
Yep. That's been such a key all night. Team with the most energy has controlled virtually all 4 sets tonight. That serve airmails the back line. And Roncalli gets it back down 6, 22-16 here in set 4. Royals have a 2-1 set lead. Luthane on the serve. And Hoffman, the libero, can't handle it. Ace for Luthane.
I can't help to think that if I was Roncalli, I would go to Haberthy here. You've been going to Luthane point and point again, and you need a pair to his hitting matchup. Wow, what a save.
Saved by Capo, sent over by Hurst. Now Dial sets Shanahan, and he hits it across for the hit, for the point.
Going to Shanahan works too, but somebody else needed to step up.
22-18, now Carlos Capo wants time for Fishers, calling its first timeout. Tigers still lead at 22-18. We'll step out for 30 seconds and come right back. It's Roncalli Volleyball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
Back to action we go out of the timeout. Roncalli serving down 4. Brendan Luthane sends the serve over. Max Hoffman plays. Now Aaron Hernandez out of the back row. Dial sets Shanahan. Blocked nicely and kept alive, but the pass over, and now Roncalli sends it, but a nice recovery by Fishers. Hurst sends it back. Luthane to the net. Dial has to send it back to Island, pushed it over from the back row. Capo sets Hernandez, and he punches it down from the back line. My, oh my. My goodness. 23-18, Fishers on top. Set 4. Hurst sends to Island. Now Dial sets Luthane from the back row, but he couldn't get it up over the cord. Into the net. And the Tigers are a point away from taking set 4 here. Top-ranked team in the state, number 8 ranked team in the country, Fishers. Roncalli, number 2 in the state of Indiana. Hurst sends the serve long.
I think that's the second set in a row that's happened on point 24.
You are correct. It happened on the Roncalli end, right?
I think it did.
In the previous game. 24-19. Roncalli trails. Haberthy. Hoffman. Capo into the Hernandez, who hits it into the wall. Deflects out of bounds, and it's Fishers. 25-19, winning set 4 to tie it up. So a winner take all the 15 in set 5 awaits us after we take this 60-second timeout. You're watching Roncalli Volleyball on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Alongside Heather Lazan, former Roncalli girls volleyball captain, I'm Rob Brown. Pleased you've chosen to be with us tonight. You've gotten your money's worth. Roncalli and Fishers, number 2 and number 1 in the state, respectively. Boys volleyball, we head to set 5, all tied. Great crew with us tonight. Daniel O'Connor's our director, Hannah Taylor our producer. Hannah Spots and Ten U on the cameras, Lauren Boone on the graphics tonight, and Justin Brown is our supervising producer. I want to send best wishes to our coordinating producer, Stefan Welsh, who is not with us tonight. He'll be back with us next week. Look forward to having him back in the saddle. Roncalli is going to serve first here to start this 5th game. 2-2. Roncalli, if you're just joining us, first of all, if you're just joining us, where have you been? Because you've missed
a good one.
You've missed some high-level volleyball action tonight. But Roncalli winning the first set 25-13. Fishers coming back 25-18. The third set was a wild one that Roncalli ultimately won 30-28. And even though Fishers won by 6 points in that 4th set, Heather, which is 1 less than Roncalli's 7-point advantage in set 1, I feel like set 4 that Fishers won was the only set where one team really dominated the back end of the set.
I do think so. There's a hint, a glimmer of maybe a momentum swing for Roncalli coming into this 5th set, but yeah, Fishers really dominated that last one.
You have to have quick energy here because this one only goes to 15, so there's no room for a slow start. Hernandez took a little something off, 10 barge. Now Shanahan off the block.
Not off the block, off the tape.
Oh, off the tape. Beg your pardon. I'm glad your eyes are younger and better than mine.
Well, I thought it was off the block too, but line judges did not think so.
Okay. So I wasn't the only one then. Okay. That's good. Fishers leads 1-0. Bikes, sets 10 barge, and he puts it down in the hole. 1-1. And sophomore Andrew Meyer, who's been the most effective server for Roncalli tonight, subbing back in. Good to see Andrew's older brother, Zachary, who played in this program, graduated last year. He stopped by in between sets 2 and 3 to have a chat. Hernandez puts it away. I make that DeFore, number 8. Henry DeFore, the senior, puts that one away.
And he's so good, and it's so difficult to block that left hand on the outside. Most of the time you're going to see lefties on the right side of the court, and it's a different feel. It's a different arm you got to line up with, and he takes advantage.
Hernandez with a screamer serve that Roncalli recovers, and Tinbarge slams it down. Oh my. Well, that started with Island somehow able to play that serve that looked like it was going 300 miles an hour.
And that was the big difference from last set. That same pass would have gone over the net. This time it was a perfect ball.
And Island's back to serve. We're tied at 2. And Hurst handcuffed on that serve receive. Roncalli has its first lead of the set. 3-2. And again, we're just going to 15 here, so it's a little bit shorter run to the end. But a lull is much more
that was a double.
Penalizing, and a little miscommunication by Fishers as to who was going to take that pass from Capo. And Roncalli gets a gift point there. 4-2, they lead it. Island sends it over. Capo sends the pass back, and Hurst into the block gets the point as Roncalli can't keep it alive. 4-3. Just past the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Please, you're spending part of your Tuesday night with us. Happy you've made that choice. And Buckler absolutely shanked that serve. Not only did that not go above the net, it did not go between the poles.
No, it did bounce on the outside. It was
that was confounding.
There's a lot of pressure in this game right now, to say the least.
Yeah. 5-3, Dial back to serve for Roncalli. Royals lead by 2. Capo, and nice play by Island to get in the hole and recover. Luthane into the wall and knocks it out. 6-3, Royals.
There's another difference. In that 4th set, that tip that Fishers just sent over was hitting the ground. Island was able to pick that one up and read it really well.
Capo sets to 4, and he puts it right down onto the feet of Meyer. He can't dig it out. Well, DeFore has been very effective. You mentioned him a few points ago, the left-hander. He's been very effective tonight. He's back to serve with the Tigers trailing by 2. Island digs it out. Dial sets Luthane into the wall. Dial able to save it. Can they keep it back? They do. They put it back in play. Hurst blocks it into the wall, and hold on a second.
Fishers wants an antenna call.
Yeah, I think Fishers is claiming that that Luthane's third shot, or third hit over, trying to save it in front of the Roncalli bench, did not go to the left, to the inside of the antenna, but it will be a Roncalli point.
They were claiming the line judge didn't call it, but the R2 ref, so the down ref, said, my call, I'm saying that it was still in bounds.
7-4, Luthane back to serve. Capo sets Buckler, and Buckler make that, Lewis rather, 21, put it away on the backside into the open space. 7-5, Roncalli on top here in set 5. We go to 15. Hurst, the senior, back to serve. Island. Dial plays Haberthy, but Hurst was waiting. Capo sets to 4. Into the wall. Stromans keeps it alive. Dial sets up Shanahan. Now Capo. Hernandez. And he hit it in, just tucked it in just inside the back line. 7-6. Fisher's the #1 team in the state. 5 seniors and the sophomore Lewis on the floor. Hurst takes his time, big exhale. Now the run-up jump serve, Island. Shanahan has to send it over with not much on it. Capo, and that ball, Lewis's ball got into the cord, into the antenna, excuse me, and it's 8-6.
Lewis was again trying to run that slide. He just got a huge kill on it. Smart to go back to it, but the set just wasn't there.
8-6, Haberthy serving for Roncalli. 2-point lead for the home team. Capo sets Lewis. The block dug out. Hernandez, and puts a rifle shot into Luthane, who can't put it back in play. And Fishers gets the point, down 8-7. Back to serve the senior libero. Hoffman. Luthane. Dial sets 10 barge, right to DeFore. He was waiting on it. Capo sets Hernandez, and he airmailed it off the end line. 9-7 Royals. Mike subbing back in to serve for the Royals. Kesterson is back on as well. 9-7. We go to 15 here in set 5, the deciding set 5. Mikes into the net. Back to serve Frankie Capo, the son of head coach Carlos Capo. Shanahan, Bikes, sets Kesterson. And he puts it into the wall, but kept back alive by Fishers. Hernandez has to send it over. Bikes, sets 10 bars, and he puts it down. Tim Barge hasn't gotten too many opportunities tonight, Heather, but he has been converting at a pretty high rate.
He has. He's really taking advantage, and that really helps. It's going to help Luthane now that he's in the front row, because the blockers are going to wait just a second longer to try to block Tim Barge, which will open up a wider lane for Luthane.
Well, we need a towel there to wipe some perspiration up off the floor. Now I think we're set. Andrew Meyer, the sophomore, subbing back in to serve for Roncalli. Royals leading 10-8 in the decisive game, set 5. Hoffman plays that one to Capo, now DeFore. Island sets Luthane, and he hits it long.
That was a close one, but that line judge is really staring down the line, so I trust his call.
Just a shade long. Right in front of the Fishers bench. 10-9, Roncalli leads. Hernandez for Fishers back to serve. Meyer just recovering. Luthane recovers and puts it away. Oh my. Somehow Andrew Meyer got his reflexes up and controlled it enough to start that sequence. And Luthane put it away.
That was huge, especially on Hernandez's kill. He has a solid jump topspin serve, so to get out of that rotation quick.
DeFore, and he's in the net. What's the call?
Luthane was in the net on the block.
Okay, Luthane in the net on the block, okay. 11-10, Fishers gets it back, Roncalli leads.
Almost knocked the up ref off the stand that time.
Yeah, he did, yeah, I thought he was gonna come down. 11-10, Luthane, Bikes back to Luthane. Taps it over. Capo. And we've got a double. Carlos Capo, the head coach, disagrees.
Well, they're calling a lift on that one. They're saying
okay.
he held the ball basically from his chest. Wow, student section's really getting involved.
So Roncalli sends the subs in. 12-10 the score. Roncalli leads set 5 against the #1 team in the state. 8th ranked team in the country. Andrew Dial back to serve. First, high set, Capo. Sets DeFore, and he hits it right in the hole. 12-11.
Strauman's was there, he just couldn't move his feet fast enough. Took a step backwards instead of forward.
Got caught leaning the wrong way and could not recover. 12-11, Roncalli still leads. DeFore sends the serve over, and Luthane can't control it. We're offside at 12.
I can't help but think where they're standing, that serve might have been out of bounds. He took the serve up at his shoulders, still he's standing 6 feet in front of the end line.
Yeah, that's a good point. 12-12. Henry DeFore back to serve. Luthane, Dial sets Luthane. And Hoffman able to recover and send it back over. Meyer to Dial. Luthane again. Into the block. It's wide, though, out of bounds. Let's see. That's Roncalli point. Into the block, but then the deflection off the block sailed wide. And it's 13-12 Royals. Roncalli 2 points away. Luthane back to serve. Sends this deep serve that Hoffman plays. Capo sets Hurst. Dial keeps it alive. Island. Now Shanahan sends it cross court. Hoffman. Capo sets Lewis, and he puts it down. Caught Luthane leaning the wrong way. We're tied at 13. My, oh my, this is intense. 13-13, we go to 15 or win by 2, whichever comes first. Hurst back to serve. Dial plays Shanahan, and he puts it down.
Shanahan only had one block there, and oh my lordy, he took advantage.
Timeout Fishers. Timeout Fishers. We'll stay right here. We'll stay right here.
It is loud and rowdy in here, and both sides of the gymnasium are into it.
We'll stay here. We're a point away. 14-13. Roncalli leads. Set 5. Roncalli to serve coming out of this timeout called by Fishers. Fishers 28-0. Has not lost this year. Roncalli 24-4. And 0-3 against Fishers, the defending state champions. Of course, there was not a state tournament last year. Fishers winning the title in 2019, Roncalli in 2018. This entire place is on its feet. Haberthy back to serve. And it clips the cord, but it heads to the Fishers side. Capo sets Hernandez. Luthane plays. He wants it back from Dial. Luthane in the block is ricocheted back over to the Roncalli side. They can't play it. We're tied at 14. So the defending state champions answer with the point they needed. And now we go into extra time. 14-14. You got to win by 2. Hoffman to serve. Luthane. Dial to Shanahan. Off the block, it's deflected into the stands. Boy, Shanahan's had a couple of big-time hits.
Shanahan really getting that student section involved, too. I love it.
He is, yeah. He's making them well aware of his presence. Now Bikes is back to serve for Roncalli for the match. 15-14. Bikes sends it over. Capo to Hernandez. Off the block. Out of bounds. Fishers point, 15-15. Back to serve Frankie Capo, the senior for Fishers. Coach's son. Sends a looper that Island plays. Bikes, sets Shanahan to the back row. Capo plays it. Hoffman to DeFore, that's 4, that's a 4. DeFore shanked it, trying to put it over. And Roncalli's back on top, 16-15. It's Andrew Meyer back to serve for the match. That's the guy they want back there. He has been so effective, the sophomore left-hander. Let's see what he's got here. Hurst to Capo. Now Hernandez. The block. Luthane played it. It's going to go over. 10 Barge guys it. Now Bike sets Luthane. Out of bounds. The block goes and Roncalli wins. The students have rushed the floor. The students have rushed the floor, and Roncalli has knocked off the #1 team in the state. Handing Fishers its first loss of the season. Pandemonium here at the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium as they try and get the students off the floor, try and get the team back together. What a match we had for you tonight as Roncalli, 3-2, knocks off the top team in the state, Fishers. here on the south side on a Tuesday night. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, Heather and I will have all the facts, figures, and thoughts on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts postgame show. It's next after this 2-minute pause on the Ascension St. Vincent Roncalli Media Network.
We're so thrilled to have Peyton Manning's name on our children's hospital, but we are a hospital designed for kids.
And then the halfback went in motion and then ran a slant route across the middle. Try to get a linebacker isolated on him. I like this beat. It's nice. Give me some more bass. A little more bass here. These are nice. Wish they had them at the adult hospital next door. They have to make this giraffe green.
That's crazy.
Might be right. Let's go red right, scat right, 585, wide drag, on two. Ready? Break. Nice ride. Y'all have these in blue? Can you hear this?
There's only one Peyton Manning Children's Hospital, offering world-class compassionate care for your child. Schedule primary ER or specialist care online.
Thanks, Peyton. We've got this.
Oh, okay. That's where they go.
Do life, not laundry. Milto Cleaners.
Well, you come back to action. There's the quick replay, the final point. Roncalli defeating top-ranked Fishers tonight in 5 sets, 3 sets to 2. Let's take a look at the scores. Back with you here on the Steve's Flowers and Gifts post-game show. Rob Brown and Heather Lazan high atop the northern sideline here at the Ascension St. Vincent Gymnasium. Roncalli winning set 1, 25-13. Fishers came back to win the second set, 25-18. Third set was a wild one that went into extra time, and Roncalli winning that one 30-28. Fishers, though, very businesslike, came back and won the fourth set, 25-19. Then in the fifth and final set, Heather, Roncalli, once it got the lead early at 4-2, never trailed. There were a couple ties in there, but Fishers was never able, actually only one time in that, only twice in that final set was Fishers able to string back-to-back points together. And that was so important for Roncalli to play from in front in that fifth and final set. The final point came off of Andrew Meyer's serve, and Andrew Dial set up the jumping jack, the junior Brennan Luthane, for the final kill of the night, giving Roncalli the win, 17-15. To put this in perspective, Roncalli was 0-3 against Fishers this season heading into tonight's action. Fishers was 28-0, ranked number 1 in the state, number 8 in the country. And we talked at the top, Heather, Fishers had lost just 4 sets all year out of 68. They lost 3 sets tonight in the span of about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And Roncalli gets, I'm not going to compare this with like a state championship or a postseason win, but this is arguably the most significant regular season win in program history.
It was, and Fishers was a tough team. It's not like they ran over them. Both teams played their hearts out tonight, and you could see particular players like really wanting points, really winding up for huge swings, fighting for every single ball. And yeah, Roncalli was just able to string a few more points together than Fishers was.
Well, both of these programs will be back at it here later this week. For Fishers, they'll play their third match in as many nights after beating Noblesville last night, 3 sets to none. They will play at Franklin tomorrow night. Roncalli, I want to get your opinion on this, Heather, as a former player. Obviously, we saw immediately after Luthane's kill went into the block and the ball ricocheted out of bounds, and everyone in the gym realized that Roncalli had just knocked off Fishers. It set off the students rushing the floor, certainly exhilaration on the Roncalli side on the account of their players. But if you're Roncalli, in less than 48 hours, you're going to be back in this gym playing the number 3 team in the state Cathedral, the only other team that has beaten you. So at some point, you've got to come off this high and be ready to go again in less than 2 days.
You do, but you can either come off the high or you ride the high. Cathedral has also beaten you before, and so there's a little bit of a grit that you want to bring because you want to beat them. And also, it's a Catholic rivalry there. Cathedral, Roncalli, always been a huge rivalry, and you're able to ride this high of just beating Fishers, just play the exact same ball. And I'm sure that's going to be what the coaches are going to say in the next 48 hours, that I've seen you do it, and I believe you can do it, so let's see you do it. Well,
Fishers, despite Roncalli's win tonight, Fishers does win 3 of the 4 regular season matches. And you know, the state tournament comes up here in mid-May. The state finals are scheduled for Friday and Saturday night, May 21st and 22nd at Southport. And given what we saw tonight, certainly Cathedral and a couple other schools will have something to say about it, but given what we saw tonight, there's no reason to think that these 2 programs will not meet for a 6th and final time that Saturday night, the 22nd, at Southport for the state championship game.
And let me tell you, if and when they do, it's going to be a match that you want to watch.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
This one was close. Even the sets that, when you look at the scores, they may be seen as a blowout. They were not. They were back and forth every single time. It was just a matter of runs. And any other meeting that these 2 teams have this year is going to be good.
Well, before we say goodnight, we want to hand out our players of the game, brought to us by Ortho Indy. And I think you go to the two big hitters, Heather. Brendan Luthane for Roncalli and the junior and the senior Aaron Hernandez for Fishers. They certainly were both driving factors for their teams tonight, and we saw Luthane put Roncalli on his back in set 3 for the win. Hernandez did the same in set 4, and then fittingly Luthane got the kill on the final point.
Of course, and not only did they put their teams on their backs in the front row, they're both 6 rotation players. Hernandez has a killer serve from the enormous jump topspin serve, and they both pass pretty well too. So they're able to be threats from the front row and the back row, and they really proved why they were players of the game tonight.
Well, those are brought to us by Ortho Indy, where their mission is to provide the highest quality comprehensive bone, joint, spine, and muscle care to patients throughout the Midwest, the United States, and around the world. From diagnosis through recovery, their team is ready to get you back in the action. Choose Ortho Indy to be your official orthopedic provider. Well, before we say goodnight, we'll get you familiar with the rest of our broadcast week. Weather permitting, we'll be back with you tomorrow night. Softball, Roncalli's softball team ranked number 1 in the state, 13-0 on the year, taking on Franklin Central in a big rivalry game tomorrow night, 5:30. You can watch the game on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com. Pat Crosley will be alongside for that one. Hope you can join us. Weather permitting again, just keep an eye on social media for an announcement if there's a game postponement for that one tomorrow night. And then we'll close out the week with a baseball game, audio only, on RoncalliMediaNetwork.com on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, as the baseball team takes on Cecina. But want to thank Heather. Heather, great job tonight. Thanks for sitting in, and we hope we're gonna talk to the powers that be. But we hope that this is while this is your first appearance on the network, it is not your last.
You know, I think I'd be all right with that. It was pretty fun, and I love me some good volleyball.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's contest as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Tonight's game has been a production of the Roncalli Media Network. The executive producer is Gary Armbruster. Our director on tonight's telecast is Daniel O'Connor. Our producer is Hannah Taylor. Our camera operators, Tin Ooh and Hannah Spots. And on the graphics, Lauren Boone. Our supervising producer is Justin Brown, and our coordinating producer is Mr. Stefan Welsh. For my partner, Heather Lazan, I'm Rob Brown. Again, our final tonight from the Vinny. Roncalli's boys volleyball team knocks off top-ranked Fishers 3-2. Till we talk to you tomorrow night with softball action on behalf of our entire Roncalli Media Network crew, it's been Rob Brown saying so long, everybody.